Welcome back to the channel. And yeah, so today we're gonna be working on the IS. We're gonna be doing oil change. It's gonna be like a little step-by-step, the easiest way that I know how to do it, and maybe it will help you guys out in case you guys are having trouble on taking out the filter, because I know it's a really tight spot. It's a really tight squeeze, especially if you got some big forearms and shit. It might be difficult for you guys, and it is difficult for me. So I found a new way to remove the oil filter without having to dig your hand next to the intake manifold. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. So as you guys can see, the oil filter is right there. Let me zoom in on it. Come on. Well, you guys get the idea. Oil filter's in there. And as you can see, it's a really tight squeeze. But the easiest way that I found out, that if you remove your ECU box, you have this big clearing that you can stick your whole hand in through there. So that's what we're gonna do. So the bolt size is 10 millimeters, but mine broke off the first time I did it because it was seized in there. There is another tab down here. I believe it's an 8 millimeter. This one broke off as well. I don't know what happened. I guess I didn't see it and I just yanked it out. LOL. So let's remove this ECU box. All you guys want to do is just remove this little hose right here and pull it out. Okay, with that out of the way, you don't have to remove it all the way out, because then you start having to unplug shit, but you don't have to do that. Now you have this big space to where you can stick your whole hand in there and get the oil filter. And if it's tight, you can actually get some oil filter pliers and loosen it up. So that's what we're gonna do next. But before you remove your oil filter, you want to come down here and remove your drain plug from your oil pan and drain out all the oil first. And after that, you'll remove the oil filter and put the plug back in. Also, that is a size 14. So once all your oil is drained out, go ahead and reinstall the drain plug bolt back in. Make sure not to cross thread it. That way you don't have no troubles later on with leaking or removing it or stripping the threads. Once everything is hand tight, go ahead and tighten it up with your 14. Try not to over tighten it, but give it a nice, once it's tight, just give it a nice little push. And that should be good. Alright, now time to take out the oil filter. So now from here you have a clear way. You see how big that hole is? Look at that. Fit my whole arm in there. So now you have a clear passageway to get to the oil filter. And if it's too tight, you also have plenty of room to use oil filter remover clamps or whatnot, you know. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try it with my hand first, make sure it's not super tight. I'm trying to get a good angle, that way you guys can see. Oh, about that. You guys see that? See how good I could get that oil filter? And it's starting to turn, so it's not super tight. That's what you want. How much clearance I got in that. Wow. Alright, let me adjust my oil pan down there. That way it can catch anything that falls down. Okay, now that I adjusted my pan, I'm just gonna spin this puppy off. Look at that. It's facing upwards, and I'm able to stick the whole thing through here. Right out. Without making a mess. Now let's go get the new one. So we are replacing the oil with Mobil 1 high mileage 5W30, right? with an extended performance oil filter. This is the part number for the Mobil 1 oil filter, in case you guys are wondering. M1-102A. You can find those at your local Walmart for like 10 bucks. 1 quart for like 8 bucks, 7 something. And then your 5 quart for like 22 something. They're on special right now. So hopefully it stays that low, but I doubt it. So now let's install this new filter. A little trick that I like to do so my filter doesn't get seized up. Just grab a little bit of the old oil, rub it around the little seal, right? A little bit on the threads, just make sure it's not dirty. And go ahead and reinstall it. And as easy as you took it out, as easy it's gonna go back in. Alright, so now that it's snug, I'm gonna go get a towel. That way I have a better grip. You don't want to over tighten these just because it could leak or whatnot, but I like mine just hand tight and then try to put a little bit more force into it. That way it's, you know, you got it sealed up pretty good. Alright, let me get my towel. I found my little towel. I'm gonna get back in there and clean it up a little bit. Once I feel like I can't tighten it up anymore, then I'm just gonna try to force it a slight bit and we should be good. So you tightened up your drain plug, you put your oil filter back in. Now time to unjack the car and fill it up. So we're gonna start filling it up with 5 quarts first, and then we're gonna do the 1 quart, but we're gonna only put half and then top it off till it's full, because it doesn't really take 6 quarts, it takes like 5.7. So you'll use 5 quarts, and then that 1 quart you'll probably use like a third of it or whatnot. So now I'm adding half of that 1 quart, and after that I'm gonna check the dipstick and top it off as we go, making sure not to overfill it. I put a little bit more than half, but fuck it, I dropped some on the chair. So right now it's clean, and I'm gonna stick it back in there and see where it's at. And it's to the top little nipple right there, so we pretty much nailed it on the spot. Let's close it up, turn on the car, and I'll show you how to get rid of that maintenance light. Go ahead and place your ECU box back into its spot. Reconnect the hose. This little shit popped out, okay. We're good to go. If you have the maintenance lights on, I'm going to show you how to remove that. Yes, I do have a check engine light. That's because I have an evap sensor or evap leak somewhere, and I haven't diagnosed it yet, but that would be a future video, so stay tuned for that. Ha ha ha. So what you want to do for your maintenance light, if you have it on, go ahead and hold this little button right here that resets your odometer, right? Hold it down and put it on the first key switch. Keep holding and it should start flashing. It will zero out and that's it. You turn it back on and the maintenance light will be off. And a good way to keep track of your oil changes or whatnot, I do mine every like 3,500 miles or whatnot. It depends on how often you want to change yours. I change mine frequently just because I like to keep everything well lubricated and make sure that nothing is low on oil or whatnot. So I will reset this, and after 3,500 or 4,000 miles, I will change my oil again. And I know it's kind of overdoing it, but I enjoy changing the oil just because it's a nice, easy way to make sure that everything is well maintained and all the internals are well lubricated. So if you guys enjoyed the video, and I do apologize if there was a little bit of wind noise. All of a sudden there was this big ass cloud over me, and the wind started picking up, but it looks beautiful out right now. The sun is shining, and yeah. So if you guys enjoy the video and learn something from it, and I hope that it's easier for you guys to change your oil next time, because I know it's a very tight space, and some people with big forearms and not, or just big like me, you know, can't get their hand all the way inside by the intake manifold. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day and have a good one. Adios.